everybody, welcome into Let's Talk Kentucky. I'm Sherelle Roberts, I'm your host and moderator, and we're here with the Let's Talk team. It's Susan Mills, Kim Dixon, and Lisa High. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday.
All right, let's get into the talk of the town. We got a lot of exciting things going on.
Yes, we do, always.
All right, so you guys know that saying, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. You know that?
Oh, yes.
That's really, really kind of an excuse to have a little libation. But it's also a lyric in a Jimmy Buffett song, right?
It is.
I think so.
Yes. Yep.
5
With
o'clock
Alan
somewhere.
Jackson. It was a
With,
duet.
with Alan Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think Kentuckians are going to be saying that a lot more often because we are getting a Margaritaville up in northern Kentucky.
Yay.
Yeah, so
Look at
it's going
that.
to be a big resort. It's going to be a 264-room resort. It's opening in the fall of 2026, so we've got to wait a little while, but it'll create 282 jobs. And so this is really cool because I stayed at a Margaritaville resort in New York. Was it this summer, last summer? And I mean, everything in there goes with one of his songs. There was a broken flip-flop. there was a pop top. And they had just a lot of parrots and lots of drinks and really cool decor. I think this is going to be great for that area, but it's already cool up there anyway.
I heard all the parrot heads, on this announcement go, "Whoa!"
They're so excited.
Yeah.
I mean,
they love
they're
it.
really fun. I mean, it has a very Key West feel to it, and it's such a fun environment. It always puts you in a good mood. Any of his songs always put you in a good mood.
Yeah, I just think of summer year
Yes,
round
exactly.
when I listen to a
Exactly.
song.
I'm so excited. I've never heard of this hotel before you guys. So I'm
Really?
really excited. Yeah, I want to go visit. Yeah.
So I said I didn't want to be a hater. I had a little bit of a hater in my spirit. I did, because I was like, why are they getting one and we're not getting one here in Lexington? I'm being a hater. Because, so I drove through Newport maybe about a month ago. It is so cool
it
there.
really is.
They've got
Place.
aquarium, restaurants, really cool things, and I'm just like,
It's awesome.
you could have put it in Eastern Kentucky. You could have put it somewhere else. But either way, I'm not going to be a hater. It's going to
It's
be
a short
cool.
drive.
Yeah.
It's a short
drive.
drive. It's
Yeah.
282 jobs and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
And maybe
awesome.
they'll expand this way if that one is successful. So,
Okay. All right. Thanks for making me feel better.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Up next, also in Talk of the Town. So a White House issued report basically says that if this government shutdown happens, and we know that it could potentially happen, okay, so our lawmakers up on Capitol Hill are trying to figure out their spending bill, how to pay their bills so they can hopefully keep government running. Well, they're fighting over it as usual. They can't come to an agreement, but here's the thing. This is not just a political football. If the government shuts down, it could jeopardize food assistance for 7 million people, and that's 120,000 in Kentucky alone. So according to the White House, a government shutdown would mean that SNAP benefits, formerly known as food stamps, but now the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children would be cut off. And we're talking about 120,000 people in Kentucky who would potentially not know where their next meal is coming from if this government shutdown happens.
Yeah, it can happen. We need to get an answer.
This
we
is
need
literally
to get
food.
together. Yes.
This is food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is real life
Yeah.
issue.
So that's just one
scary.
piece of it, right? But then we've got, if you're working for the federal government, you might not get paid. Now, the Social Security checks and things like that are deemed essential. So those will keep coming for a while. But it just...
But not food?
I know, because I mean,
Yeah.
Social Security can be
Yeah.
used for food and other things, of course, but they're getting their food.
Yeah. So here we go again. I feel like we just were on the brink, last year? Year
Yes,
before
it's
last?
an annual event.
The government shutdown brinksmanship. No, it is. But I'm just like, guys, we're not talking about paying our future bills. We're talking about paying the bills you already made.
Yes.
It's like me calling over to KU and being like, listen, we need to negotiate. No, just
You already used it.
pay the bills.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Okay. Try not to be upset about it. Let's get me unupset.
Let's talk about something fun.
Let's talk about the Golden Bachelor.
Yay!
Yay! So it's starting on Thursday, and we're having a watch party. Yes, you, me, and anybody who wants to come. We're going to be at 33 Staves, which is in the New Origin Hotel over there in the Summit area.
That's right.
and we are going to have the TVs tuned, every single TV tuned to The Bachelor, or maybe just one big one. And we are going to watch to see what happens. So the premise this time is that the new Bachelor is 70-something. Mm-hmm. He is a widower, and he is going to be dating 20 women who are 60, 70-somethings.
I can't wait to see this
either.
because you know how spicy it gets on the regular Bachelor and Bachelorette. So can you even imagine with the Golden Bachelor how spicy? Because at our age and older, we just all say, forget it, I don't care. I don't care what people think. You know what I mean?
Y'all think it's going to be more
crazy.
spicy?
I think
do.
it will. I do too.
Well, I have this feeling that, you know, because the younger bachelors and bachelorettes, like, they don't have necessarily always like children that are going to be watching the show. These people may have grandchildren that are watching the show. So I think they're going to be trying to keep it clean, I would think.
Clean and spicy.
So you know what? I don't think so, because you know the older you get, how your patience gets low. Right? I mean, every year as I got closer to 40, my patience got lower, and now it's at an all-time low. So if you're in your 70s and you're dating, you have no room for foolishness. I can't wait. It's going to be so good.
It is going to be good.
So anyways, meet us over there on Thursday, and we're wearing gold because it's the Golden Bachelor, so we're going to have our feather boas. It's just going to be good.
There's going to be a lot of color commentary, I believe, as the show's going on.
I cannot wait. So please, please join us. Woo, it's going to be good. All right, everybody, stay with us. Coming up after the break, we're going to discuss why women don't speak up when we're sexually harassed.
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meats.
When someone's injured at a place of business or in a public space, that shouldn't happen. Slip and falls, falling objects, a drowning, crimes like assault, rape, and even murder. We've handled them all, and we have a team of lawyers that handle only these cases. But here's the thing, don't wait. Evidence and witnesses disappear. Time matters, size matters. Let America's largest injury firm go to work for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Want a flatter, tighter tummy? Then check out new AbEX from Sono Bello.
Doctor, after my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me really self-conscious.
It's not your fault. That stubborn fat and excess skin is very difficult to get rid of with diet and exercise alone.
That's exactly why I went to Sono Bello. I really trust their team of experts, and I finally got the flat stomach I had always wanted.
Introducing AbEX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
AbEX is a great alternative to a tummy tuck because that overhang you mentioned becomes flat and tight fast with minimal downtime.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation now to learn more about AbEX by Sono Bello. Call 1-888-507-8988 or go to sonobello.com.
End Zone is your home for high school football Friday nights. Watch ABC 36 Sports for team coverage of high school football highlights and score updates on End Zone every Friday at 11 p.m. with ABC 36 Sports. End Zone, presented by Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. I'm Sherelle Roberts, and it is time for the countdown conversations. This is the part. Why did everybody start punching?
I don't know. Yeah, because we're like ready to duke it out with whoever. I don't care.
This is the part of the show we discuss as many topics as we can in 6 minutes. Okay, so this first one, let me tell you why I wanted to talk about this first one. So Cassidy Hutchinson, you may remember her. She testified in the January 6th hearings before Congress. She worked in the Trump administration. And, you know, that's kind of why she has a name. So she just wrote a book, and in the book, she detailed that on January 6th, when, you know, there were people storming the Capitol, she got groped by Rudy Giuliani.
Ew.
And she She told her boss at the time, they didn't really do anything about it, but now that it's coming out in this book, people are turning on her. Turning on her, accusing her, saying, why are you just now doing this? You're only doing this for clout. And so it really got me thinking, this is why women don't speak up when something happens to us, when we're sexually harassed, because sometimes the cons outweigh the pros.
Right.
And I wanted to hear from you guys. Have you been sexually harassed? Have you dealt with it? And have you just said, no, I don't even want to deal with the drama?
Honestly, I mean, yes, I've been sexually harassed several times in my lifetime. I typically don't report it. And the reason why is because I am afraid of retaliation. I'm afraid, sometimes it's even a supervisor. And, you know, it makes it so that I'm fearful of retaliation, losing my job. And you know what? You might not lose your job right away, but all of a sudden they could start building a case to get rid of you over the next 6 months.
Exactly.
So that type of thing really freaks me out. So I'm worried about, you know, retaliation and reporting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kim, what do you say?
Here's the thing. I have, like you, been sexually harassed before. The reason why we don't report it is it's our brains literally trying to protect us. You know, and that's why it takes a little time to process that. But I like you, was sexually harassed, and I did lose my job. The excuse was, we're not where your job is being outsourced, is what happened. I did tell people what happened. They still called me a liar, and I eventually lost my job because of it. But I will never not tell when I have been sexually harassed. I will never not say something.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have been sexually harassed. I've been sexually assaulted in the workplace, and I did report it. I think that we have to be cognizant as women on the way that we talk in the work environment and hold ourselves to the same standards that we hold men in how we're speaking in the office environment or work environment. But I also believe and have heard of stories of men being sexually harassed as well in the workplace. So it's not just something that I think happens to women. It's maybe less common with men, but they have to be protected too.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know, it seems like it happens, at least in my situation, it seemed like it happened more in my younger years. So it was like right out of college and into the workforce. And so you're very naive. You don't know who to really turn to or who to talk to about sexual harassment. So it's
we
really
also
complicated.
put up more, though, when we're younger because we don't have the experience. Now I get sexually harassed and I don't even know it.
Right. All right, y'all. We got to move on. But thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Okay, up next, let's talk about alcohol sales. So Sunday alcohol sales, we've got some restrictions here in Lexington, but now there is a council member along with some restaurants and retailers that want to expand Sunday alcohol sales. So right now you can only sell alcohol on Sunday starting at 11 a.m. They're saying, we want mimosas for brunch. So thoughts on expanding Sunday alcohol sales?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, Sunday is not the Sabbath for everyone, so if it's going to increase revenue for restaurants and therefore, just go for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great idea. I think that it seems like it's been made more complicated than what it really needed to be.
Right.
You know, you can only buy it during this time and only at this location and this, you know, and it's just like, let's just go ahead and just do it.
That's a lot of hoops to jump through, but I was thinking as a consumer, retail can really benefit as well as the consumer. What if you work the night before, you're having a party on Sunday, and you can go buy your alcohol early in the morning?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, well, we want mimosas. All right, and last up, and this is an important one because it leads into our guest. Both Lisa and Susan have been really transparent about talking about the fact that they have children who are on the autism spectrum. And one of the things I wanted to ask them was, what's something you would like folks to know about your kids and about raising kids who are on the autism spectrum?
All right. Well, my oldest son, Jackson, he's 19 now. He's a senior in high school. He is autistic, and I think the two things that came to mind first and foremost is that even though he prefers to be alone, he eats alone, he's kind of a loner, he still likes to be around other kids and other people. He likes being surrounded with them. He prefers to be around adults more, but I think there's a trust issue with kids from being bullied when he was younger and things like that. So, but he does like to be around people. And also I think that for him, I think that he would also like to, I think it would be important for parents out there to know that if their kids could even reach out to him sometimes and just maybe just talk to him, just sit down with him and just kind of have a conversation, or even invite him to their group outings, maybe going to a movie or something like that, or maybe kids out there can create a club for that. It would be great for people with disabilities, not only autism, but other disabilities.
Absolutely, just be all-inclusive.
Yes.
I think it's really important to understand, as an autism mom, knowing that at one time my son was nonverbal. He's very verbal now, but just because a child or someone on the spectrum is nonverbal, or with very limited speech doesn't mean that they don't have anything to say.
Yes.
So be patient with them and let them try to communicate with you the best way that they know how. And then also, kind of to your point, Lisa, Alex definitely loves his alone time, but to know that if a child is playing by themselves, it may not be that they don't want to play with other children. I say you go and try to invite yourself into their world, and even if it's playing alongside with them and not necessarily playing the game by the rules, but just engaging and interacting, because they really do like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all. Oh,
There
good
it is.
job.
Good
Thank you
time.
all so much for sharing. And this is an important conversation that we're going to continue on the other side of the break. We have some law enforcement folks who are going to talk about how they train to interact with people on the autism spectrum. Stay with us.
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meats.
Next ET, we're sipping and spilling with Tiffany Thiessen.
Of all your co-stars, who did you have a crush on and who was the best kisser? Wow.
Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on ABC 36.
Your choice of attorney is critical. And if you're injured, you need to find an attorney who has trial verdicts in Kentucky. If it's a serious wreck,
get a serious attorney.
Insurance companies know who tries cases here in Kentucky, and they know what the results are.
Paw Patrol Live, the great pirate adventure, has set sail for your city. You and your kids will see your favorite pups live on stage in this musical adventure.
Playing Rupp Arena October 6th and 7th. For tickets, visit pawpatrollive.com.
Hi, this is Joseph with Rapid Fire Home Buyers. Do you have a house that's costing you too much time and money? Maybe a rental house, an inherited house you don't know what to do with, or the house you're living in that you just can't keep up with. We buy property in any condition and any price range all over the Southeast. Sell your house as is for cash with no repairs, no fees, and no commissions. If you're even thinking of selling your house, before you call a realtor, give us a call for a free cash offer. Call 859-695-3875.
You're invited to come be our guest this Sunday at Southland. For service times and campus locations, head over to our website at southland.church. We'll see you soon.
Car wreck? Think Golden. Golden Law Office has multiple multi-million-dollar verdicts in the state of Kentucky. Insurance companies know that.
We know the inside of the insurance business and use it to your advantage.
Dancing with the Stars season premiere live tonight on ABC and Disney+.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. I'm Sherelle Roberts. We're here with the Let's Talk team, and joining us at the table is Lieutenant Todd Allen with the Madison County Sheriff's Department. Welcome to the
Thanks
table.
for having
me.
Well, we are so glad to have you here because you're here to talk about a really cool initiative that you all have where you are training your officers to interact with people on the autism spectrum. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we started doing this a few years ago. It was kind of initiated when our sheriff, Mike Coyle, he goes to a sheriff's conference every year. And of course, one of the things we do routinely is when you see these incidents that happen around the nation with law enforcement, we, of course, one of the first questions he asks is, are our deputies prepared to deal with something like this? And you can go on YouTube and you can see all the videos sometimes where people on the autism spectrum have come in contact with law enforcement and it hasn't turned out very well.
Yeah. That's right.
So that's one of the things he mandated the training staff at the sheriff's office to do, is to prepare our deputies on how to deal with citizens on the autism spectrum, because our goal obviously is to provide the best service for all the citizens that we service. So we started looking into what we needed to do. The Department of Criminal Justice Training, which we as a certified law enforcement officer have to attend 40 hours of training every year to keep our certification. One of the classes they offer is dealing with citizens with special needs. And there is a section with autism, so we started sending deputies to that. Our insurance carrier, Keiko, we get a simulator. It's really cool. It's like basically drops you into a movie that you interact with the screen. And not only can we do traffic stops or warrant services, all different kinds of scenarios. One of the scenarios we started using was interacting with people on the spectrum.
Oh, I
so
love
this
that.
this is interesting because when with my very limited background in law enforcement, being able to comply, being able to stand still, being able to follow commands is an important thing for people to be doing when they're interacting with law enforcement, and people on the spectrum can't always do that.
Yeah, so what can the community do or parents do to help their loved one that may be on the spectrum interact with law enforcement?
I think what I always tell people is we want to do the right thing. We want to be helpful in every situation we go to. A lot of it is miscommunication. So if you can help us identify that one of your loved ones is on the spectrum, it really kind of changes what we do in our outlook on it. Because you can go to a call, and all police officers have heard that domestic violence call. There's an open line screaming in the background.
Yes.
And of course, we always think of the worst, but it may be someone on the autism spectrum having sort of a meltdown with their caregiver, and that's obviously going to change our response. So a lot of it is helping us realize we're dealing with someone on the autism spectrum, and then preparing your loved one if, God forbid, you were involved in a traffic accident and were incapacitated, and how do we get in touch with someone to help come to the scene and help with this person on the autism spectrum.
Right.
The state has the autism awareness license plates. You can do the puzzle piece stickers on your car.
Oh, okay.
You can even, there's all kinds of identification bracelets and stuff like that that you can do to help us know we're dealing with someone on the spectrum. We also in Madison County have something that's called Smart 911, where you can basically enter all kinds of information that when we're dispatched to the call, the dispatcher can say, hey, there's a 13-year-old on the autism spectrum.
So we actually talked about that the other day, and we encourage people to do that. So we only have a couple seconds here. So we've got the Smart 911 QR code on the screen so that people can scan it so that they can sign up in Madison County. But real quick, like 30 seconds, what kind of feedback have you received from the community on this since you started it?
Nothing but positive stuff. Even our deputies, which, you can imagine police officers in training, sometimes they curl their nose up knowing they have to go to training. But it's been very positive. Our school resource officers are actually coming to me and saying, hey, we're reading to these kids, these autistic kids. I have a very good rapport with them. I'm the guy that when he's upset, he comes and talks to. I do want to give Ms. Mills a lot of credit too. She was instrumental in helping us come up with this training for our agency, and it turned out great, and we really owe a lot to her and my autism.
Shout out to Susan! Well, thank you
it was
so much,
an effort.
Lieutenant Allen. We really appreciate you being here and appreciate all the great work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
All right, everybody, stay with us. Coming up after the break, we highlight our woman we're talking about, and we talk Super Bowl. Yeah.
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meats.
To politicians like Daniel Cameron, my patients are just numbers. He says he absolutely supports bringing back Matt Bevin's ruthless Medicaid plan, threatening to take away health coverage from over 95,000 Kentuckians, putting more hospitals at risk for closing. And the effects would just be devastating. Cameron might not see communities like ours, but I do. Cameron is just wrong for Kentucky.
I made it to college football as a walk-on. None of the scholarship, but all the hard work. It wasn't glamorous, but it taught me to leave it all on the field. And that's exactly what I'll do as governor. Andy Beshear has failed us. He locked our schools and unlocked our jails. We can do better. I'm Daniel Cameron. I'm leaving it all on the field so the next generation inherits a quality education system, safer communities, and more prosperous families. Join me, and let's go win this thing.
You think life is short? Football is short. The regular season is just 18 weeks. That's it. So cherish every over and under before it's over on FanDuel. With live betting on every NFL game. Because before you know it, a cold night at a Buffalo Bills game will just be a cold night in Buffalo.
America's #1 sportsbook is heading to Kentucky. Get $100 in bonus bets when you sign up today. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
I'm ABC 36 news anchor Paxton Boyd, and I'm proud to lead a return to our station's On Your Side reporting. We're in the streets and in your community asking the tough questions and holding people accountable for you. We're also on your side by safeguarding against internet-based scams and crimes. If you have a story for the On Your Side investigative team, we want to hear from you. Because On Your Side isn't just what we say, it's who we are. ABC 36 News is On Your Side.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. It's time for What in the World is Trending, and we're talking Super Bowl again. I'm not going to be watching the game. Not going to be watching the game. I don't even know who's in it. I just know that I'm here for the halftime show. And it's going to be Usher.
Hey, this is awesome.
H-E-R. Yes, this is going to be Usher. Okay, so
you might be watching, right?
At least halftime. So I guess the Super Bowl is going to be in Las Vegas, and Usher has been doing a residency in Las Vegas. So he's just going to slide on over and give us the show of our lives. I can't wait.
This is a really big deal.
Yeah.
For any artist to be asked to do that, it's kind of like the pinnacle of their career.
Exactly. So, and Rihanna gave it to us last year, so Usher's got to bring it to the game.
And he's a showman. He loves to dance. It'll be good.
It's going to be good. All right. Time to highlight our woman we're talking about. Today's woman is Renee Buckles. She's a legislative aide for the Lexington Urban County government and has been so for more than 7 years. She's a Lexington native and a mom of 3 boys, and she's super involved in her community. She's an advocate for the One Parent Scholar House as well as an autism advocate. She said she found herself at the Scholar House when she was young, a young mother, and they provided her with the support she needed to be successful. So Renee, thank you for all you do. You are a woman worth talking about.
Renee is an awesome, awesome woman and an awesome mom. So well done, Renee.
Thank you. And thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow.